Pardon me, everyone. I'm just plugging up my controller. I'm still playing some Cyberpunk, but like I said, I'm not touching any story missions. I've just been doing a whole bunch of side missions, been doing a whole lot of leveling up. But I've just been playing Cyberpunk non-stop. I took a break to play a little bit of Dark Souls and actually go into New Game Plus for the very first time. But I've just been playing that. But that is not what you guys are here for. You guys are here for some of that sweet, sweet solo leveling story. So, last we left off, well, first of all, let me go ahead and get the formalities out of the way. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here to bring you yet another chapter of solo leveling. Now, before I get started, I had someone pop up in my chat, in either my last solo leveling or the one before that, asking why don't I show the images of solo leveling, because there's only so much I can do when I'm describing them and when I use voices and when I'm enunciating and trying to illustrate what's showing on the page here. There's a reason for that. The very same thing that I believe got Rogers Base, a very well-known YouTuber, banned from streaming on YouTube now for several months. Well, not several months, but all the way until like March, because I guess he was showing images from solo leveling, and apparently he got hit with the strike. He has a video up on the whole situation of him showing him of the whole situation, and other people said that it was because of him showing images of solo leveling up on his channel. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm just saying there's a reason why I don't show images of any manga or manhwa that I read on this channel, because of those specific reasons. And I also got this full screen, so if I don't see you in chat right now, I can't read what you're saying because I want to experience this whole chapter right now. But there's a reason why I don't put up images of what I'm reading up on the video for you guys to look along with me, because of that specific reason. Since I had this channel, I've been strike free and I want to keep it that way. So that's why I don't show images, because this is my main way of us communicating when it comes to me doing, live streams and reactions and stuff for chapters and stuff. And if I were to get hit with a strike because of a live stream, then it'd be tricky for me to be able to give you the same face-to-face reactions that I give you guys. But in the last chapter, let's go and get started. I don't want to stay on that soapbox too long. It's just that I want to be careful what I show on this channel, so that way I can keep giving you guys the content that you guys look forward to. Alright, so in the last chapter, it showed Jin coming out of his, forced stupor, and then not only usurping control of the system from the architect, but also destroying the architect as well. And in the last live stream of solo leveling that I had last week, it was like so much was going on. Not only that, but he says he's going to devour the system. Now, mind you, a lot of things that I said during the solo leveling, the last solo leveling chapter, was mistranslated. Now, mind you, probably later on today, what I'm reading right now is probably going to have a revision and is going to read completely different from what I'm reading right now. So if I mess something up or if I say something wrong, then I'm chalking it up to the translation that I'm reading. If that changes later, then you guys will probably say so because, well, you guys do. But in the last chapter, he pretty much has an insurmountable amount of power now. Like, he literally has a second heart power in him that gives him 100,000 mana on top of what he already has. So that's just unlimited power. But now we get to see what happens after that, because remember, they're still in the double dungeon. Alright, so it shows all the people standing outside of this double dungeon, all the people that went with Wu and all the agents of the Heroes Association there. It's already been an hour since the Hunter Guild members went in. What's going on inside? If our guild goes in, we would be in big trouble. And then it shows people coming out. They're coming out! And it shows everyone walking out. Wu, Cha-Hae-in, Choi Jong-in, and all the members that went with Wu. The elite members of the Hunters Guild came out looking like that? Just what happened inside the C-rank gate. And then we got Wu. Are you members of the Bravery Guild? Can you help us move the dead hunters? Dead hunters? Yes, of course. And then we got Jin walking out with his hand in his pocket like ain't nothing happened. The architect's real body has to be somewhere else. Although I didn't hear the answers, he wasn't going to talk anyways. So what we've seen of the architect was just an avatar for him to use. Around 20 top-ranked hunters are dead. If there had been a dungeon break, the casualties would have been unimaginable. Are you telling me that Hunter Sung Jin Woo blocked this all on his own? I asked the Bravery Guild members to report the double dungeon to the association, but to think that they would come to help. This resulted in creating casualties. We were able to survive thanks to the Hunters Guild and a monitoring division. The monitoring division would know all about the movements of S-rank hunters. Asking for the Hunters Guild's cooperation was my decision, and there are a lot of bodies that they brought out. It ended up becoming this disaster, but how did Hunter Sung Jin Woo know about the existence of a double dungeon? The dungeon called me here. It called you? Yes, I received a message to come to this location. Can we see this message as well? The message can only be seen in my head. He can't be serious. What with all these dead bodies laying about? I can't understand him at all with my limited knowledge. And then we got Cha Hae-in. Are you okay? Yes, of course I am. No, maybe a little tired. And he falls over. Hunter Sung Jin Woo! And then it shows the many trucks driving away with a whole bunch of magic crystals, and they all get dumped out past like this blockade a little bit. Oh, here's Yuri Orlov. About 200,000 tons of magic crystals, which is more than sufficient to power the barrier. Position the barrier with the gate at the center, and the magic will begin by throwing upon the magic crystals. After that, the barrier will pull in the magic by itself. By the way, this is weird. Huh? Has there been a mistake? No, the barrier is perfect. However, there seems to be somebody nearby. Oh? Is it one of the monarchs? Huh? Who are you? Show yourself. And he's looking over in one direction where he can sense them from. Do you think a brave person would still be nearby when the dungeon break is tomorrow? Did I say it was a person? Huh? Yep, because there's someone standing far away on the building overlooking him. He has keen senses. Well, considering where his power comes from, there's nothing strange about it. Regardless. Yo, is that Jin's dad? It is finally starting. Yo, that's Jin's dad. Everything is flowing along as predicted into the prophesied tragedy. Yo, and we got people standing outside of a caution tape as the massive gate is just... The gate looks like a giant black hole that can just swallow up everything. Kind of looks like that black hole from the Transformers... What was it? Transformers... Cybertron TV show? You know, you know, the one with the rock theme. But it has armed soldiers standing outside of this caution tape. Then you got tanks. Then we got members of the Japanese A-Team. Modern weapons don't have a big effect on the monsters, so was there really a need to mobilize the army? In the case that Yuri Orlov fails, they need to create time for the hunters to prepare for the attack. They will simply be cannon fodder. There's no difference between us and them. It simply confirms how helpless humans are in the face of disaster. And then we got Yuri Orlov walking through an entire street just filled with crystals. Perfect. Very good.
If all goes well, I will have cleared an S-rank gate by myself. I want to be called the man who cleared an S-rank gate alone, but unfortunately, there's another hunter who better fits that name, so I can't be greedy.
And then he just cracks open a flask of alcohol. Mr. Orlov, alcohol is...
This is a toast to relieve my nervousness. I will give you a great show. How many S-rank hunters are standing nearby?
15 hunters in total.
That's rather small for an audience of mine. What's America doing? Didn't they send S-rank hunters here to help?
Another S-rank gate appeared in Maryland. Hey, that's where I was born. Not only in Japan, but also in England, India, and elsewhere.
Every country must be under pressure due to the lack of manpower.
The gate! The gate is breaking open! And it is just a massive gate break, and it shows Jin waking up. Is he in the hospital? He has to be. Yeah, he's in the hospital.
Hospital?
Young Nim!
Jinho? What happened?
Why are you only waking up now? We really thought that you were dead. You were asleep for 3 days.
3 days?
Yes, I was so worried, Young Nim.
3 days? That's how fatigued I was? I didn't rest for a while either. More importantly, I haven't forgotten the scenes that the creator showed me. Wait, what if I was asleep for 3 days? Jinho, what happened?
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the S-grade dungeon that appeared in Japan.
Ah, that's... Why does he look so... Why does he look like something extremely bad happened? And now we're cutting to another scene as we see soldiers and hunters standing as something steps out of the gate. Giant! Oh, it's giants. Giants? They're giants! The bosses that appeared in upper A-grade dungeons are coming out right away?
The bosses that appeared in upper A-grade dungeons are coming out right away? This much isn't a problem.
And he starts to harness the powers of the magic crystals. So you mean to tell me that these giants, which are basically bosses of high-grade A-rank gates, are the first things that come out of this gate? But he starts charging up power and starts to funnel it and starts to target the gate itself. And then a barrier just appears around the gate itself. And one of the giants attempts to break through the barrier.
I didn't think I'd only be seeing monsters from A-grade dungeons. Did you think the likes of you would be able to penetrate my barrier?
And then the giant's eyes glow even more blue than normal it would appear, because it's drawing attention to the eyes in this panel. And then... Yo! Hold up, bruh! Did he just grab your boy straight through the barrier? No! Wait! No! No! I mistook it! The giants! One of the giants gets grabbed by an even bigger hand. I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Don't at me. Don't at me because I just misread this whole scene, but now I'm starting to see the same giant that tried to break through the barrier gets grabbed by an even larger hand and gets swatted aside.
Oh?
And now Orlov is sweating. And the same giant that was already massive to begin with gets body slammed and thrown into a building behind him by an even larger giant. Like, in comparison to the size of one of the regular giants and this, I guess, super giant, it's like the height of Marco almost to that of Whitebeard. Because, you know, Whitebeard's ridiculously tall, but this giant with this massive beard is just... Orlov can barely come up to this giant's ankle. That's how big this giant is.
Huh? Huh?
And the giant prepares to, and the, I guess, giant boss? King Giant? Lord of the Giants? Prepares to smash the barrier, and there's a slice, and he cuts. Oh my goodness! Not only does this one giant cut through the barrier, but he also slices through every building beyond the barrier as well. So think like Jesus Burgess's Galleon Lariat, where not only was the shockwave enough to, hit Sabo, but it also hit with enough force to break buildings in half. He literally sliced through this mega giant, just sliced through the barrier and sliced through the buildings. One swing. And that's it. That's it for this chapter. It ends the chapter on that note. Wow. And that's the end of chapter 131. All right, now I'm going to bring chat up and see what you guys have been saying. Noradin Ali, you're going to die after watching this chapter, reading this chapter. Renwick. 6. Abdulaziz, I hope I said that right. And then we got the anime Juke. Wow. Elbaf Giants. It's a titan. It's pretty much a colossal titan. Wow. Wow. Yuri Orlov was boasting so much that my barrier is perfect. Nothing can get outside of this barrier as long as it has a steady flow of magic crystals. My barrier cannot be penetrated by anything whatsoever. Here comes Yorl, or not Yorl, or Jarl, or one of the elder giants from One Piece, and just says like, I'm about to ruin this man's whole career. One swing takes out the whole, cuts through the barrier, and cuts through the buildings beyond the barrier. Not only that, but it's been 3 days since Jin has been knocked out from, the whole ordeal in the double dungeon. But wow, can't wait for the next chapter. Neither can I! Oh my goodness, wow. This dude, who's said to be the barrier expert, literally has... That's Broggy? But wasn't like the elder giant leaders from back when Big Mom was a baby. One of the elders, the same elders that one of which that Big Mom killed back then. That's who I'm referring to. Not Broggy, but I'm referring to one of the older giants there. The one that banned Big Mom from, Elbaf itself because she went on a whole tangent and destroyed the village and then killed one of the other elders. That's who I'm referring to. But this giant just came in, sliced once, and made Yuri's barrier just seem like it was nothing at all. Wow. Sabo should have killed him after making fun of Ace. He should have, but I believe Burgess has another part to play in the story. That's the reason why Oda kept them alive. Because think of how easy it would have been. Because think about it. You got this one member of the Blackbeard Pirates, and he gets one-shotted by Sabo, and we don't see him anymore. We don't see him in a final battle against Blackbeard's crew and whoever. But still. So his daily quests are done since he was asleep for 3 days and had no punishment? I guess so, because... it's daily quests. If he doesn't do it, he gets transported in that dimension. But he's been asleep for all those days. So either his daily quests are done, or he has influence over the system where he doesn't have to do those daily quests anymore. Because why else would he still be alive after 3 whole days of being knocked out? Otherwise, he would have suffered the punishments for it. So something happened in the system that now Jin doesn't have to really worry about it. Either that, or I'm reading into it far too much. Hopefully this manga will get an anime adaptation. I hope so, and I hope Studio Madhouse does it. Don't give it to those those animation studios that like to do it for cheap and get it pushed out like 2 episodes within a week, and then we get the third season of Deadly Sins level of quality when it comes to animation, or One Punch Man season 2 levels of animation. No, give me My Hero Academia levels. Was the admin the reason he had those daily quests? That's why I said that I could just be overthinking it, because even I don't know that much. I'm pretty like the wiki has full information about what's going on with the story of Solo Leveling, but I don't look at it because it reveals too much and it spoils too much, and I don't want to read that. I'd rather find it out per chapter than, the information that the light novels give. But I could just be reading it into it in too much. But overall, I don't know. Where is the chapter? The same place I've been reading it from, levelingsolo.com. Now, mind you, what I'm reading is it could change later today due to, it's just them putting out the first translation that they can get, and then they're fine-tuning it as the day goes on. So what I read will probably look different like a couple of hours from now. So if I got anything wrong, or if I got any conversations wrong or perspectives wrong from what characters are saying, it's because I just got a rough translation of the current chapter today. But overall, this was a good chapter. What's gonna happen to Orlov now? This barrier expert just had his perfect barrier shattered the moment it was created. Not only that, but you have, hopefully, the studio that made Demon Slayer will make the anime adaptation. You know what I gotta do? I actually have to watch Demon Slayer. I have yet to watch it at all, and I've been meaning to, because I heard the animation and, the whole anime as a whole was god tier. So I literally have no excuse of why I haven't watched it yet. So I will start watching Demon Slayer this week, so that way, just in case anyone brings that up, I can have information out of it, and then I can just geek over to it, and I can have yet another source of media that I can reference when it comes to any of these things. But overall, this was a pretty good chapter of Solo Leveling. Everyone's out of the double dungeon. And then Jin says that the architect that I originally thought that he just straight up destroyed, nah, that's just a body that he destroyed of the architect. The real architect is out there somewhere and was just using that stone statue as an avatar to, manipulate and get Jin to do whatever he wanted. But it didn't really work out, so now the architect's body is gone, but Jin is now far stronger than he used to be. Not only that, but Jin's dad is watching all of this stuff that's happening in Japan unfold right now. Just chilling. So the prophesied tragedy is about to happen. And what part does Jin's dad have to play? That's a good question, but we're going to have to find out next week, because the countdown for the next chapter is, 7 days and a couple of hours away, and is counting down slowly but surely until next Wednesday. So overall, I enjoyed this chapter. How long did it take me to get through this? Only 23 minutes. It's not that long. It went well, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm letting you guys know this now. Let me just give a couple of bit more of my thoughts on this chapter before I head out and before I give my lasting remarks. I like this chapter, but not only that, the whole thing about Yuri Orlov, the fact that this man was boasting so much that his barriers were perfect. We saw a display of his power against other heroes, other hunters, and it was like, wow, this dude's kind of strong. But then to have this man boast so much, even boasting so much that he was literally going to drink on the job, then to have these giants come out, one of them couldn't break his barrier, and he was just so full of himself, like, ha! Cannot break through my barrier. You're too weak. And then as soon as he says this larger colossal giant comes out and says, alright, bet. And then just slashes through his barrier, like literally making this person that we thought was going to be so powerful and help this gate. I actually thought the gate was going to be held back for a little bit, but no, the gate gets a barrier around it, and then it gets destroyed instantly. I'm just like, why are you even here, Yuri? Yuri, why you here? You ain't doing nothing. Go home. But I feel like Yuri may not survive this encounter. If that giant was able to slash through his barriers, then that means that none of Yuri's barriers are going to work against him. So I fear for the life of one Yuri Orlov. But we're gonna have to see what happens in the next chapter. That's all I got for you guys for today. I know this was a shorter stream than it tends to be when it comes to me and solo leveling, but that's all that I have, and I don't want to monologue and keep you guys here any longer than you need to. Lasting remarks. Tomorrow, I will be having another stream because, supposedly, the last DLC pack for One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 is releasing. And like I've done for the past Pirate Warriors 4's character DLC packs, I will be having a stream of me and my experience of it. And more than likely, it'll probably be around 12 o'clock, depending on how fast I can get it downloaded and up and running, and the stream up and running. I will let you guys, I will tell you guys. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to this pack. Hopefully it's not the last one, because we're getting Kinemon, Okiku, and Kozuki Oden himself, who looks ridiculously powerful if the gameplay video is anything to go by. So we're going to have to see just how this last DLC pack stacks up to the rest of the game. Hopefully, with the game hitting, 1 million copies, 100 million copies sold, hopefully they'll continue to support Pirate Warriors 4 because the game really needs endgame content. I mean, I really want to come back to the game, but there's nothing else. It's like playing Avengers. It's the same thing over and over again, but at least One Piece Pirate Warriors 4's gameplay loop is a little bit more engaging than Avengers. Sorry, Kate Bishop is not enough to bring me back. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it a session here. Hopefully you enjoyed this little reaction of solo leveling. With that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed, okay. You know what? Hold on. I messed up and I didn't even notice. I had this. I had my how did I not notice that I had the One Piece logo right here instead of having the solo leveling one? I bet that confused a lot of you, or maybe you didn't even notice it, but I didn't even notice that I didn't even have the solo leveling logo right here. So my apologies for that. But hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Kinemon isn't in Pirate Warriors 4, not in the base game, no. At least not playable. But he is a DLC character that's going to be dropping tomorrow. But hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, and you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples. I'm gonna do better next time when it comes to having the logos down here. Oh, good Lord, help us today.